Panther Nation podcast. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, cut it. Cut right. And I would like to introduce one of the hottest podcasts in Carolina history. Let's go. Yeah. Talk, let's chat. We got time to chop it up. Talking analytics and fantasy draft. You know what's up. Panther Nation representing, cause this is where we talk that. Talk that's so incredible, make them rewind that talk back. Pause. Talking Panthers football, we discussing it all. On and off the field, you know exactly who to call. You know we the #1 podcast. Competition is non-existent, you need to stop that. Pause. It's an honor to be a Panther fan. Pause. At Bank of America, that is where we ball. Coming to the jungle, then you gonna feel the pause. Winning the trophy for the city, it is the call. Black, white, and blue, we going Carolina strong. And this is the conversation where everyone belongs. Discussing all the numbers and topics, you know we got it. We the hottest podcast, and we poppin', let's go.
QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.
Oh, Dave messed my screen up, bro. Here we go. All right, what's good, man? What's good? I know y'all a little bit surprised for me pod. This is a solo pod, by the way. And I know it's Monday. Y'all wasn't expecting this. And here's the reason why. So I'm going out of town starting tomorrow. I will be going on a cruise with my wife, celebrating 16 years of marriage. So obviously got to lock in with the wife. And so I was like, let me go ahead and do a quick pod. I'm not going to be up here all night. I just wanted to touch base because I know that y'all want to hear my opinion about the Jaylen Coker situation. I know I have not had a chance to talk about it, the news and the Renfrow signing. So I really wanted to come up here real quick and just kind of give y'all a quick recap of what's going on. It's still a busy week. Dave is still going to go live tomorrow. He's going to do more so of a fantasy pod. And then I believe on Wednesday, the guys are still going to do a roundtable. So the roundtable, I believe, from what I last heard, is still going to go down on Wednesday. So it's going to be a busy week. That's why I wanted to go ahead and go live to kind of just go through the news that had been talked about. So again, tomorrow Dave is going live. You should get a roundtable on Wednesday, if not sometime this week. Thursday, in the normal flow of the regular season, I would like to do a preview of the game on Thursdays, but obviously I won't be here this week, so I just want to kind of start to get in the flow of the regular season. You know what I mean? So, so I just wanted to kind of get up here real quick, show y'all some love, and kind of talk through some of the stuff, man, because I know a lot is happening. And I don't have any slides. I haven't had a chance to prepare. Happy Labor Day, everybody. I've been enjoying my day off. So I haven't been putting in a lot of work. And again, this is not going to be a long pod at all. We're just going to be chopping it up, real informal. I know y'all used to slides and all that, but we're not doing all that today. Just real quick, touching base. All right. So with that said, again, I had a good weekend, which is why I was not able to get up here and pod with y'all. I was chilling with the family, getting some stuff done in preparation for this cruise. So, you know what I mean? So salute to that. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, man. So first news first. First thing is first, excuse me. Jalen Coker, right? Jalen Coker is dealing with a quad injury. So I want all of those who are not familiar with Jalen Coker's quad injury history to go back and look at the interview that we did with Jalen Coker just this past summer. So we did an interview with Jalen Coker, and he talked about some of the injuries he was dealing with last offseason and how he had to deal with the quad. And so the quad is starting to become a recurring thing, which is a little scary. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit up here and cap. That's my guy. Y'all know we rock with Jalen Coker super heavy over here. But I would be lying to y'all if I didn't say it was a little bit of a concern. Again, he's on IR, which is not season-ending IR. Let's be clear with that. This is not season-ending IR. This is just he has to miss a minimum of 4 games. So he'll be out for 4 games at least. could be longer, but at minimum it'll be 4 games. And I'd be remiss, you know, if I didn't say it was a little bit of concern. Now, I did see the Joe Person report. I did see it. And Joe Person, he has an article and it reads this. This is strictly from Joe Person. From Joe Person, his article. This is a quote. If they aren't concerned, they should be. Coker strained his quad, and it's the same one that sidelined him for 3 games late last season, according to a source with knowledge of the situation. Panthers coach Dave Canales wasn't thrilled with Coker's conditioning level and body composition this offseason, prompting the team to put together a detailed program Coker followed during the summer in Charlotte. Now, that's a little weird, and it's a little contradictory, because earlier in the midst of training camp, Canales said this. Canales said, I think Jalen's taking full advantage of the 5 weeks that we had off since the spring. Says back on August 6th in OTAs, he kind of was ramping up, kind of getting a plan for his readiness, and he came back a different athlete. I have to say, of all the guys, Jalen really did a good job just working on his transition, his speed, his body composition, his readiness for the practice, and all that. I think he's just taking steps. He was a rookie last year, kind of thrown to the fire. This year, he's got a plan, he's got a routine. So it's a little weird, and a little contradictory of the article that that Joe Person put out. But hey, people say things. It is what it is. Maybe he did want to throw Coker under the bus publicly. I don't know. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend to know the details, but just keeping it strictly to the injury. I don't know about this other stuff about them being frustrated with his conditioning. I don't know anything about that. That's just rumor, hearsay. I don't know. I don't know. But I will say, in strictly regarding the injury and the injury concerns and the quad injury being a recurring thing, I don't know. It's a little concerning. Again, he missed a couple of games. It's not like he's missed entire seasons with this. I don't want this to become a David Guetta situation. Anytime we talk about guys that get injured consistently, and especially from wide receivers, Dave and I always joke about it being David Geddes. Back in the day, David Geddes during training camp used to be running up the hill. We used to see him literally running up the hill because he couldn't stay on the field. He was trying to, recoup himself and get back into shape or whatever. And, David Geddes is a speed guy, and he was dealing with hamstring injuries back in the day. So we don't want this to become a David Geddes situation where he's consistently injured. Again, is it going to be a recurring thing? We don't know. We did see his pops retweet, keep listening, saying, hey, I'm a father first, got to take care of my kid, father before fan, and blah, 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 blah. So he's got to take some time to recoup. He got injured on, like y'all are saying in the chat, he got injured on that Thursday. Right after they released Thielen, boom, there we go. He got injured on practice. And that's got to be a little bit of a gut punch to Canales as you got rid of Thielen and his heir apparent is stepping up and he gets injured. Jaylen Coker was Thielen's heir apparent for all intents and purposes. And he goes out and he gets injured. So this guy, I can understand it being a little frustrating. Now, with him being injured, they go out and they get a Hunter Renfrow. So we talked about the Hunter Renfrow situation. Hunter Renfrow in turn comes back and re-signs with the Carolina Panthers. And again, he has been very consistent that, hey, if it's the Panthers or nobody. And so they did say he was fielding calls. He got other calls from other places. And he didn't want to play anywhere else. It was the Panthers or nobody. And I got to commend him for that because, he did come back and say that, hey, he's been consistent. He stuck to his word. Panthers are nobody. And so, again, I don't know what the backside conversations were paused. I don't know what the back end conversations were going on. Behind the scenes, I do know that I did see the chat. I did see his daughter was watching Bluey on the phone and was declining the calls from Dan Morgan and Canales, which is kind of funny because that any parent knows when your kids got that phone, they just be declining calls and calling people at random because they watching something on the phone. So that was kind of funny that they called him like 10 times and his daughter sitting there declining the phone calls. That is very funny, and it shows he's human, right? He's taking care of his kids. He ain't really worried about he wasn't expecting to get a phone call. You know what I mean? So he's just handing his kid the phone, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. So shout out to Renfrow. He's back, and I don't know if he's going to. I don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1. I don't know if he's going to play week 1. I don't know what the status is. I think Canales did say some things about his status and if he's going to be ready. But salute to Hunter Renfrow. He's back. He is back. You know what I mean? So it's a weird series of events. Weird series of events that occurred with the wide receiver room, and it just things happen so quick. You trade Adam Thielen away. You're thinking you're ready for the season. Then the basically heir apparent of Adam Thielen, which is Jalen Coker, gets injured. Then you re-sign Hunter Renfrow, who's been working back from the ulcerative colitis, and so it is what it is. It's a lot. It's a lot. So with that said, folks are gonna have to step up. Some folks are gonna have to step up, man. We need T-Mac to be great. We need we need Xavier Legette to take that next step. We need these guys to bounce back. We need them to step up at the end of the day because, Bryce is going to be out there and you got rid of his safety blanket for all intents and purposes of Adam Thielen. And now I'm not going to say he's weaponless, but the weapons have definitely got thin. And so now T-Mac, you got to live up to that number one. If T-Mac lives up to his potential, we won't miss nobody at the end of the day. At the end of the day, if T-Mac steps up, then we straight. And Legette definitely got to bounce back. He definitely got to bounce back, man. Shout out to A-Cash, the super chat. A-Cash says, luckily we have wide receiver depth for once. If this happened last year, we'd have been cooked. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Now that is a position of strength. It is a position of strength, and we have been able to withstand some of the trading of Adam Thielen, and we just need to see it. We got to see it. It's all fine and dandy until we see it in the game. We have to see this in a game. We have to be able to be comfortable with the weapons that we have. And with all that being said, the weapons are great. But I agree with Carolina boy 87. Our run game got to be on point. If our run game is on point, then that takes a lot of stress off of Bryce Young and the wide receivers, which needs to be the case anyway. You know what I mean? So I think at the end of the day, as long as those guys are, the run game is good, Canales is calling good games, putting his guys in position to succeed, I think we're going to be okay. And like I see the Jimmy Horn stuff in the chat. Yeah, Jimmy Horn. We haven't seen the Jimmy Horn packages yet. You know what I mean? We haven't seen Jimmy Horn to his best ability. The jet sweeps, the reverses, the screens. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of Jimmy Horn that we haven't seen in the preseason because they're trying to hide him. That's just my opinion. And he's going back to Florida, where he's from. I know he's not from Jacksonville, but he is from the state of Florida. And Jimmy Horn is going to get some love, like y'all was saying. Salute to Trayvon, who said Jimmy Horn could give a big boost if he steps up. Agreed. I certainly agree. I agree with the Jimmy Horn talk. We're going to need it, at least for this next 3-4 weeks. And then when Coker comes back, hopefully we get back to firing on all cylinders again. So, yeah, man. So again, that's the wide receiver room. As the wide receiver world turns, you know what I mean? It's been a lot happening in that wide receiver room, and hopefully Bryce shout out to A-Cash in super chat. A-Cash says we haven't seen Jimmy Horn's package yet. Did I hear that correctly? Yeah, pause if necessary, if applicable. Pause on that if applicable. Salute to A-Cash, man. Shout out to A-Cash. But yeah, man. So that is the wide receiver room. Jatavion Sanders agreed. Another guy that has to step up. Certainly agree with that. He had a terrible drop in one of the preseason games, and Bryce couldn't have handed it to him better, and he had a drop. So we definitely the guys got to step into their roles, man. We definitely got to step it up for sure. Definitely got to step it up. JT, Mitchell Evans, all those guys. Tommy Trumbull's back now. We definitely gotta lock in for sure. But yeah. So salute to all the wide receivers involved, man. Hopefully we can step it up. For sure. All right, one last thing I wanted to talk about, and again, I don't know how long we'll be on here, depending on where the chat goes. But one thing that I did also see was, and I'll quickly give my thoughts on the game too before I get out of here. But another thing that came out was the team captains. So the team captains were also released and announced. The team captains are Bryce Young, Derrick Brown, and JJ Jansen, and then they will also rotate a fourth one. I think that's rotating the fourth captain. I think that's cute. Guys are gonna be vying for the fourth captain every week in and week out. I guess they got to earn it for whatever. Um, mm, I don't know how I feel about that, but hopefully it works. Hopefully it works. But Derrick Brown, he is team captain for the second consecutive season. Bryce Young he's captain for the third straight year, and JJ Jansen, he has been selected the team captain for the third time in his 17-year career. So shout out to the legend JJ Jansen, who was a Panther legend. You know what I mean? So we definitely needed that. But yeah, man. So salute to the team captains, and I hope that works out for the fourth guy. So it is what it is. It is what it is there. Now, before I get out of here, and again, this is not going to be a long stream for sure. Just want to get up here and touch base. But one thing I did want to talk about was the game, right? So I will be actually flying back the day of the game. So I'll catch it, and I don't know if I may do a post. I don't know. I may be too tired to stream during the game. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'll say this about the game. I feel like I was a lot more confident about this game earlier in the season as the preseason happened, as things are starting to evolve with our wide receivers, as we saw some of the defense in the preseason. I gotta be honest, I'm a little on the fence about it. Like I don't know how to feel about this game. And again, it's not doom and gloom. I'm not saying the whole season is gonna be trash, but I do have some concerns. I do have some concerns about the defense, and it's not the typical concerns about stopping the run. Well, part of it has to do stopping the run, but the linebackers, I'm more concerned about the linebackers than I am the pass rush, right? I'm more the pass rush. I feel like we got guys that can get there. I feel like Wanham. I feel like Wanham is going to be solid. I feel like Pat Jones is going to be decent enough, and I feel like the rookies are going to give us enough spark to kind of overcome it as we proceed through the season. But my biggest concern is the linebacker position. The linebacker position, the interior linebacker position to be specific. I I just don't know if we got the dogs, man. I mean, I like Trevin Wallace a lot, but Roseboom, we gonna have to see, bro. We're gonna have to see, man. I'm have some real concerns because what's gonna happen, and I've said this a couple times on the show, but what's gonna happen is that we're not gonna be able to stop the run, and y'all are gonna immediately say, "Oh, the defensive front can't do their job," or we invested all this money into the defensive line and they can't stop nobody. Well, your interior linebackers have to be able to fill those gaps. They have to be able to read the runs correctly and read the gaps correctly and fill them, right? Linebackers play a huge part in stopping the run. And y'all are going to immediately say the front didn't do their job. So I have some concerns. I really do have some concerns about our linebackers. I do. I don't know about it. I'm just unsure. I haven't seen enough in the preseason, and that's my biggest concern. I'm not Derrick Brown's gonna be back. I feel like the front is gonna be okay. I feel like the edge rush is gonna do enough. I feel like the secondary is gonna be okay. I do feel like we're gonna have an occasional whiff, an occasional coverage bust. You got some young guys. I mean, depends what they're gonna start. Nick Scott. Already is Ransom gonna get some good plays? Damani Richardson. I don't know how they're gonna handle the safety play, but I do feel like there's gonna be a couple situations where we're gonna have a few busts, and I'm okay with that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I do think everybody else but the linebacker is gonna do just enough. I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be able to make some stops when it's time to make some stops. And I'm pretty confident in the offense as well. I think the offense is gonna do what they need to do. I feel like I saw I saw a good sign in the third preseason game when Dave Canellis called the games. I felt like the creativity was there. I felt like I felt like the run game is going to be on point. I feel like our offensive line is back healthy now. You got Damian Lewis back, and everybody's good to go. Well, Icky's still a question. I didn't hear any updates on Icky just yet, so I don't know. I didn't listen to the entire press conference, so I don't know if where Icky stands. But I think we're gonna be fine. I think we're gonna be okay from an offensive perspective. I feel like we're gonna see a solid showing from our wide receivers, T-Mac, Leggett. I think we're gonna be fine, but it's just the defense. The defense is specifically the linebacker play is going to be a big concern for me. So I think it's going to be a competitive game. I think it's going to be more competitive than people think. And ultimately, I think, I think I'm confident enough that we can get the dub. It's like kind of a wait and see thing. So it's a wait and see thing for me. You know what I mean? So we really gotta make sure that that these linebackers are on point. And I feel like if it's not on point, I feel like we would definitely make a move. We gotta make a move to bring some linebacker play in here because we can't sit up here and have a showing like we did last year. It's not acceptable. I know they made some moves. They upgraded some positions. They spent a lot of money on that defense, and so I want to see it, and not just money, draft capital. That counts too. So I got to make sure we got to step it up. We got to step it up. I mean, I really like. He says, who do you expect to play alongside Trevon at safety, Richardson, or Ransom? I think it's probably gonna be Nick Scott, to be honest with you. So the guy not listed, I think they like Nick Scott a lot, but I'm hoping it's Damani. I like Damani. I think Damani played very well, but he's cooled down. His offseason wasn't as hot as it was last year. He's cooled down. I think Ransom has gotten a lot of shine. I feel like Nick Scott, the veteran presence, I think they might roll with that until these guys are comfortable. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know that, and that's kind of the thing is I wish I knew a little bit more about what the plans are because I don't know. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to talk about the Michael Parsons trade either, but yeah, Michael Parsons traded to the Packers. I think it was blockbuster, man. Blockbuster trade. Again, I think that we are not in a position to make those kind of moves right at this moment. But I feel like, kudos to the Packers because they feel like they're in win now mode and they went after it. So salute to them. Salute to them. I mean, we'll see if it works out and see what Dallas can do with those picks. But Dallas is Dallas at the end of the day, and I feel like Green Bay got better as well. So we'll see what happens. That's one of those trades you have to wait and see. Actually, you ain't gonna be able to just say who won it until you see the picks that come from it. Because if Dallas can knock it out the park with those two picks, you're gonna be like, oh, well, they want a trade. So you gotta. It's a wait and see thing. I know people want instant gratification with these trades, but with that particular trade, you got two picks. One of them's a future pick. You gotta wait and see. You gotta wait and see. But yeah, man. Justin Simmons. Yeah, Justin Simmons a little bit older. I think they're trying to go young. They're trying to go a little bit younger, man. I think if they wanted Justin Simmons, they would have got him a long time ago. But it is what it is. There, I think they would have picked him up. There was too many reasons to pick him up for them not to have picked him up already. He knows the skit system. He's gonna be cheap. If they wanted him, they would have got him. So that's my thoughts on that. But again, man, like I said, I'm not gonna be up here too long. I just want to chop it up with y'all real quick. Again, just real quick to run my thoughts down. Coker, hopefully he'll miss the 4 games and he'll be back like he never left. Hopefully this does not become a recurring thing. I don't want it to become a recurring thing. Y'all know I'm a big fan of Jalen Coker, the human being and the player. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this cat, and I want to see him succeed. So definitely want to make that happen. How many TDs is T-Mac getting? Hopefully one. Hopefully one. I'm rocking with the home team. I'm going UNC. Shout out to the ACC, man, too. Shout out to the ACC. Shout out to Florida State, man. Go Noles. Y'all know I'm a Florida State fan. We back. I'm an old school Florida State fan. I'm talking about Peter Warwick Dunn, Derrick Brooks. That's how far I go back for Florida State. Recently we've been trashed. So salute to Florida State. They back on the books. That Miami game last night was great. College football has been great, man. College football has been fantastic. But I'm rocking with the home team. Shout out to the Tar Heels, man. ACC versus everybody. Screw the SEC. Screw the SEC. Yeah, man. Shout out to Peter Ward, bro. Peter Ward made me a FSU fan, bro. That man was unstoppable. Unstoppable in the Clemson sold. They did sell bad, bro. They sold bad. They had him too. I watched that game. They had him on the fence. They had LSU, and they just couldn't get it done. But shout out to the ACC, man. ACC football is much improved. I say that. I ain't gonna say we better than the SEC by any stretch of the imagination, but we definitely back. We getting back. Shout out to the ACC, man. Shout out to the ACC, dog. We definitely way more competitive than we had been the past couple years. But anyway, I'm getting up out of here, man. Like I said, I'm getting up out of here. Again, this was a quick stream just to chop it up with y'all for a few right before I go on vacation. I'm chilling with the wife for the next couple of days, celebrating the anniversary. So I'll see y'all when I get back. And we'll probably do a game recap, or I'll see y'all on the next Tuesday. But I gotta take a step back, go chill with the wife, take a step away from all the busyness and the monotony. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, good stuff. I appreciate y'all patience. Dave is gonna go live tomorrow. And yeah, I should get a roundtable on Wednesday, excuse me. And then after that, I don't know what's happening. So, but I'll be out of here. I have fun. I post some pics on X. And I'll holler at y'all, man. We out of here. Like, subscribe, notification bell. We out of here. Peace.